Well, good morning from a very sunny France. I'm over here at La Vajon for the week. I've got work to do on the lakes. During the night I'm putting the rods out. So I've spent the last 4 nights on Bignicourt. I think I've caught 6 or 7 so far, from £23 up to £32. I've got one to show you for the cameras this morning. But before I carry on with my work today, I thought I'd take you on a tour of the lakes, show you where we're up to with the swims, and give you an update of what's been happening over the last year during all the different lockdowns and God knows what else that's been going on, and how we've been getting the lakes ready for you guys when you start coming over as soon as you're allowed to. So yeah, this one was £31.4. I'm fishing in Dolly's swim on Bignicourt. I'll let you have a quick look at him, and then we'll go for a little wander around and I'll show you where the lakes are at the moment. Here we go. We've caught, and I think Andy's on 5 or 6 fish as well, and all of the fish other than one have all averaged sort of 29.12 to 33.5 pounds, so they're all doing quite nicely. There's going to be an awful lot of 35-pound plus fish come the time that you guys will be coming out at the end of the summer, and hopefully while I'm here I'll manage to get into some of the bigger ones as well. I'm going to do one more night on here, and then I'm going to go and do my last 2 or 3 nights on Luxmont and see if I can catch one of the big ones out of there to show you as well. Very nice too. Right, so the first swim that you come to once you've come through the gate is called the Hole. Obviously you've got the first corner that you've just driven past as you come through the gate to fish to, which is a big area of over an acre with a little dot island further out to your right. Then you've got another dot island right in front of you to fish to. Obviously where the digger has created those islands, there's nice deep areas all around the sides of those as well. Probably the best looking spot in this swim is between the dot island and the long island. Then to the left you've got halfway along that long island to fish as well, with all the snags and things on the edge of it. And then further to your left and probably halfway out to the island is the hole itself, hence the name of the swim. What's interesting is because we had the digger come in here and dig all the bottom of the lake out, it is literally like the proverbial egg box. It's up and down, it's all over the place. You know, you can be fishing 3 feet on your right hand rod, you can fish your middle rod 5 feet to the left of it, and that can be an 8 feet. It is literally up and down all over the place, so it's very, very interesting to fish. And every swim like this one gives you loads of options. There's small islands, there's the big island, there's gravel, there's all sorts of things to fish to, which will make it very interesting. It's much more like fishing in England on this particular lake. Okay, so the next swim along from the Hole is the swim that I've been fishing in for the last 4 nights. This is called Dolly's. Again, you can park behind the swim here. You can park behind all the swims on both lakes, so that you're never too far away from your bits and pieces that are in your van. You don't have to try and throw it all in your bivvy. And obviously, we're all lazy these days, and it makes it a lot easier to set up and all that sort of thing. So yeah. So again, in Dolly's swim, you've got plenty of options. Right in front of you, you've got the biggest island, the Long Island, and you get halfway along that to your right-hand side. Then slightly to the left in front of you, you've got a small dot island, which again, same as the other swim, it's always going to be deep around those islands where the digger's been in and dug around. And then to your very far left, there's a smaller dot island, which obviously you've got the water to this side of that as well. Personally, I've been fishing it with 2 rods straight out in front of me, off to the right of the dot island, which is 14 wraps. I've been fishing 2 rods on a baited spot there, and I've also got 1 rod to the left down to the dot island. I've caught on all 3 rods. It's a good interception point. I have actually seen fish short as well halfway out to that island, so I'm pretty sure you catch them there. I haven't tried that. To be honest, it's the first time I've ever properly fished this lake at all. I'd never night fished it until this week. So yes, that is Dolly's swim. Okay, and the next swim round is called Your Swim. Andy's been fishing in here for the last 3 nights. He's on 6 fish. Bearing in mind we've only actually fished the nights, we haven't put the rods out in the day at all. We just, once we finish work, we come over and normally get the rods out for about 5:30 in the evening, wind them back in again at 8 in the morning. And we've still been catching fish. I would imagine during the day, with the way the weather's been, we probably would have been catching quite a few then as well. So from Your Swim, you've got the right hand corner, which looks very carpy. No one's actually fished there yet, but it looks very carpy, and there's a small gravel point that comes out just probably 25 yards to your right, which also looks very good. Then in front of you and to your right, you've got Dot Island. Straight in front of you, you've got the gap between 2 dot islands, and then your water goes to the centre of the long island in this swim. Not that I'd advise fishing there, because any fish that you do hook there are more than likely going to run to the right behind the dot island. But and then obviously you've got an awful lot of open water. In fact, all of Andy's fish have come from the open water and not fishing to the islands at all. So, but yeah, plenty of water to go out in this swim and plenty of options. Okay, so now we're into a swim known as My Swim. Again, parking directly behind the swim, as you saw as we pulled up. The left-hand corner of this swim is a carp's favourite. I don't know why, but they seem to absolutely love it in that corner. It is one of the areas that the digger didn't touch at all, so I'm assuming that there's a lot of natural food still in that corner. Then out in front of you, you've got the near side of the dot island, and then obviously you've got halfway along the big island itself, plus all of the open water. And again, in this swim, my personal preference, it's called My Swim because it's the swim that I tended to fish in most when we first started doing the work on the lake, and I'd always be fishing about halfway to the dot island. So you're talking about probably 30-35 yards, and you do see the fish coming in very close here as well. So for me, if I were to be fishing in this swim, I'd have 1 rod down to the left and I'd have 2 rods on a spot out in front of me over a baited area, fishing the open water, and that tends to be where the fish want to be in this swim. Okay, so next up is the nest. Again, you've got parking directly behind the swim. There's another composting toilet just along from you, between you and the next swim. And in front of this swim, you've got lots of options. You've got the use of some of the right-hand corner, depending if anyone's fishing around in My Swim. You've got a dot island directly in front of you, which when I fish in this swim, I normally have 1 rod either side of that island and then 1 to the left. As down to your left, you've got 2 options. You've either got the corner of the long island, or to your very left, closer in, you've got Fanny Island, all of which produce fish. I have fished this swim a couple of times when we was doing the work. I have caught fish off of both of those left-hand spots, but predominantly I fish the close-in island in front of me. It's nice and easy fishing. Okay, so that brings us to the 6th and final swim. This swim is called Fanny Island. It's a huge swim, so you could fit 2 bivvies in here quite comfortably if you wanted to. Although the nest is pretty close next door, so I'm not sure you'd need to do that. Again, plenty of features, the same as on all of the swims on here really. Directly to your right and quite close in, you've got Fanny Island itself. Then out in front of you, you've got a long length of the long island, full of snags, and the fish do like getting along the edge of that. You'll see them show there quite regularly. Out to your left, quite a way off, probably 80 yards, you've got Flower Island. Again, it's nice and deep all around there. Now you've got the shallowest water to the left of this swim, so in warm weather like today, the fish will definitely get down into this corner. And Flower Island is a good option because it's got the deeper water around it where the digger has dug out. So I'm guessing in the evenings and early mornings, that would be a pretty good bet. But like I say, you will see fish showing in here quite regularly, especially in the hot weather. Okay, so that brings us to the end of our tour of Bignicourt. I've got some work to do today, and then tonight I'm going to put the rods out for one last night on here and hopefully catch some more fish to show you. But a couple of things I just want to touch on. Obviously, going around the lake, you can see that there's quite a lot of work going on still, which will all be completed by the time anybody comes out here. It is a brand new lake, it had never been fished before. we've stocked it. There were carp in here, we don't know how many or how big, certainly not many. I'm not going to say that there was hundreds, but we did see a few carp in here before and a handful of tench. So it's quite an exciting prospect for people to fish. It's a maximum of 4 anglers on here as well, so you're always going to have plenty of room. It's a 7-acre lake. So right, back to work for the day, and then I'll get the rods out this evening and hopefully I'll have a fish or two to show you before we finish the video. Whew. Well, it's my last morning here on Bignicourt. I had a common in the night, 28 and a bit, and lost a fish this morning at first light, and I was gutted because I wanted one to put on camera before I move over to Lux, but half an hour later the last remaining rod's gone off, and I've had this mirror. It's not one of the big ones unfortunately, but 28 and a half, so a bit below the average, same as the common. The average is probably just over 30 pound in here at the moment, I would say, something like that. But there are plenty of bigger fish to go for as well, so I've probably not been the luckiest, but I can't complain. I think I've ended up on 8 or 9 fish, and I've only fished the nights for the last 5 nights, so yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I'll show you this one, and then I'm going to head over to the other lake. There you go. Probably the first time he's ever been caught. Freezing cold, frosty morning again here last night, into the minuses at night, and then I think it's going to be into the teens during the day. Crazy. But a nice way to end a few nights fishing. Right, that'll do. Let's get him back home.